In 2007, Nokia controlled 40% of the entire global phone market. They were untouchable, the most valuable company in all of Europe. Their phones were in the hands of kings, presidents, and everyday people on every continent. But just 7 years later, they were gone. Not struggling, not declining slowly, gone. And the most shocking part? They saw it coming and did nothing. This is the story of how the world's greatest phone company destroyed itself. Nokia started in 1865, not as a phone company, but as a paper mill in Finland. Over the next century, they jumped from paper to rubber boots to cables to electronics. By the 1980s, they were making televisions and computers. But in 1992, a man named Jorma Ollila became CEO and made one bold decision. We are going to focus only on mobile phones. Everyone thought he was crazy. But within a decade, Nokia became the #1 phone brand on the planet. By 2000, 1 in every 3 mobile phones sold worldwide was a Nokia. In some countries, Nokia wasn't just a brand, it was a symbol of status. The Nokia 3310 became legendary. It didn't just make calls, it survived being thrown off buildings. People still joke about it today. Nokia had cracked the code. Great hardware, simple software, affordable prices. They dominated developed and developing markets alike. Life was good, very good. But quietly, the world was changing. In the early 2000s, Nokia's own engineers were already building touchscreen prototypes. Internal teams were experimenting with internet-connected phones and app stores. They could see the future. In fact, a former Nokia executive later revealed that they had a working smartphone prototype before Apple did. So why didn't they act? 2 words: fear and bureaucracy. Nokia had grown so large that the company became paralyzed by its own size. Managers were afraid to take risks because failure meant losing their jobs. Junior engineers with bold ideas were ignored or shut down by senior leadership. There was a culture of yes men, people telling the CEO what he wanted to hear, not what was true. And then, on January 9th, 2007, Steve Jobs walked onto a stage in San Francisco and said, "Today, we are introducing 3 revolutionary products. The first is a widescreen iPod with touch controls. The second is a revolutionary mobile phone. And the third is a breakthrough internet communications device." The crowd went wild. Nokia executives watched from their offices in Finland. One of them reportedly said, "It's just software, we'll catch up." They didn't. The iPhone launched with something Nokia had never prioritized: an ecosystem. The App Store meant that developers from around the world could build products for Apple's platform. Suddenly, your phone wasn't just a phone, it was a camera, a bank, a map, a game console. Nokia's operating system, called Symbian, was clunky, outdated, and hard to develop for. Good developers didn't want to build on it. Nokia tried to fix it. They threw billions of dollars at Symbian updates, but it was like putting new paint on a crumbling building. Meanwhile, Google launched Android, free, open, and easy to build on. Samsung, HTC, and dozens of other manufacturers jumped on it immediately. Nokia was now fighting a war on 2 fronts: Apple from the top, Android from every other direction. In 2010, they brought in a new CEO, Stephen Elop, the first non-Finnish CEO in Nokia's history, poached directly from Microsoft. In February 2011, Elop sent a now famous internal memo to all staff. He compared Nokia to a man standing on a burning oil platform. He wrote, "We are standing on a burning platform, and we must decide how to change our behavior." It was honest, it was dramatic, and it was too late. Elop made a controversial decision. Nokia would abandon Symbian and partner exclusively with Microsoft's Windows Phone. This was a disaster. Windows Phone had almost no apps, no developer support, and no user base. Nokia had essentially jumped off the burning platform into the ocean. Sales collapsed. In 2007, Nokia's market value was $150 billion. By 2013, just 6 years later, it had fallen to $7 billion. And in September 2013, Microsoft bought Nokia's phone business for just $7.2 billion. The king was dead.
So what really killed Nokia? Analysts have debated this for years, but 3 core lessons stand out. Lesson 1: arrogance is a slow poison. Nokia believed their brand was too powerful to fail. They confused past success with future security. In business, yesterday's victory means nothing if you stop innovating today. Lesson 2: culture can kill companies. Nokia's internal culture of fear stopped good ideas from reaching the top. When employees are afraid to speak truth to power, companies go blind. The best technology in the world can't save a broken culture. Lesson 3: speed matters more than perfection. Nokia spent years trying to perfect Symbian instead of abandoning it and building something new. Apple and Google moved fast, made mistakes, and improved. Nokia moved slow and disappeared. The saddest part of this whole story? Nokia's engineers knew the ideas existed, the talent was there. But the system failed them.
Today, Nokia still exists, but as a telecom equipment company, not a phone maker. The brand that once defined an entire generation of mobile technology is now invisible to most consumers. In 2016, when Nokia tried to re-enter the smartphone market, people barely noticed. The world had moved on. And that is the most important lesson of all. The world will always move on. The only question is, will you move with it? If this story taught you something, make sure you subscribe, because we cover the untold stories of businesses that rose to the top, and the decisions that brought them crashing down. See you in the next one.